Hey guys, welcome to the video. I'm Wrath, and today, if it isn't obvious already, I'm going to be talking about Forge's Pledge. This weapon is going to be going away at reset next week, and the reason I want to talk about this is because for many that don't know or need a refresher or need a reason to maybe farm for this in the last week of Iron Banner for this season, is because 390s were recently buffed. Forge's Pledge actually has a unique perk on it that no other 390 has right now, and that being Rampage. I'm usually not a very good I'm not a good advocator for Rampage usually, but the reason why this is so good with Forge's Pledge is due to the fact that when you proc one stack of Rampage on Forge's Pledge, you are actually able to two tap on this 390. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I had some playtesting I did yesterday. I'm not the best, Crucible PvP player, Iron Banner player, or anything like that, but I was able to consistently two tap when getting one stack of Rampage on. And while it's the one thing I really don't like about Rampage, I guess too much is that the duration for it is only 3.5 seconds, and if you want to extend that duration, you either have to have it enhanced, which you can't get with Forges, or you have to equip the Rampage spec mod, which is one more second, making it 4.5, which isn't bad. But having to spec a mod into this, I mean, isn't terrible. But for me personally, it's like I like putting my full auto on it. I know that next season you're going to be able to just have full auto on any weapon. But Rampage is the perk that makes this gun go. If you are trying to grind for a roll on this, honestly, I was able to get this one. I got accurized for range, corkscrew for, stability, handling, and range, which is really nice. I think the higher the stability on this thing, the cleaner it feels. But I'm not going to lie to you, I don't think you need too much range added to this gun. I think stability is, what makes this gun, feel so smooth and clean. But even with a roll like this, I obviously have surplus, contributing to my stability and handling and reload speed. It felt really nice. The one, I guess, qualm I have with this roll is that it is a reload masterwork, which you don't really need, especially with surplus, because surplus, I mean, two stacks, you're getting 25, more reload speed, and it's just not needed. The only other perk I guess I would go for on this is maybe multi kill clip if you're not opposed to reloading for it, because if you're obviously with pulses, you're obviously counting on the percentage increase upon 3 bullets each burst. So in theory, you're really getting like a 30% increase with Rampage on one stack. And then with multi-kill clip, you're getting like a 51% increase, which is obviously a little bit more forgiving, to where it's like you may not need all headshots for 2 bursts, but you have the prerequisite that you need to reload, which I know some people don't like. I personally might grind for, maybe a bit of a better roll. I might try to go for like a heating up. Heating up Rampage is really good on this. The thing about this gun is that I guess what made me kind of hate it in the past is that like the recoil direction, was a little bad. But with the buff to these pulses, you really don't really notice it all too much. I noticed that the higher the stability was, the better this gun felt. You really don't need to get, recoil direction on it, because obviously with a 51 you would need like arrowhead, and then you would need to slap on a counterbalance mod to get this thing up to 96 and have it be like perfectly straight up and down. But to be honest with you, you kind of don't need that. And I'm really happy, I guess, with my corkscrew, accurized roll. I mean, to me, like, you could even go with, flared mag well or tactical mag. And if you're looking for like a PVE perk, this is one of the few pulses that rolls with stats for all, one for all. That's a solar one. I know you can get the same roll on Insidious, but that's obviously an aggressive pulse. The only other weapons that are really competing with it that are I guess solar is you have Jurassic Green. You can't get this anymore, but it's obviously a 540, shorter range type of gun. Um, and I also think that just Forge's Pledge, you've got the Skulking Wolf origin trait, which I think is just a cracked perk, in PvP, when you're constantly under radar unless you're invisible and that sort of thing. Even if you are invisible and you're using this gun and then you're going, and you're able to kind of move around, you're going to be able to really surprise a lot of folks. And it isn't the quickest TTK being like a 3 burst without any buffs on it, but the gunfire is really smooth, and it's just overall, I think, a pretty easy gun to use. I guess another couple of solar weapons that we have here is we have Stars and Shadow. Honestly, I think Stars and Shadow is kind of lackluster now that they've done the change to 340s, where it's like you're going to need a lot of range because the base range is just lower than anything like a Messenger. But you can obviously farm this, and you're going to be able to farm it more come next season when they do the Crucible changes. But I think Stars and Shadow is kind of, lackluster. It'll be nice once you're able to focus it. Can obviously roll with Kill Clip, but that requires a reload. Ogma, you're looking at this gun, I guess, it's a 450, but doesn't really have the damage perks type of thing, But, yeah, a lot of the solar weapons, I guess, the only other one that I guess you would really want more probably than Forges is probably the Battler. Obviously, everyone has been seeing this lately, and it's with the enhanced perks and if you're willing to grind out dares to get, enhanced perks on this, it can absolutely beam and melt. But I think Forge's Pledge, just because it's the only one with the Skulking Wolf origin trait, I think that it's a very clean weapon and does, and can do a lot of work and that sort of thing. Going over, I want to look at, I guess it on here. Kind of a general breakdown is that at base range you have 38, but you got 33 meters. Not terrible, not as much as like an aggressive frame. But like I said, you don't really need range on this. If you're trying to max out range, it goes from like 33 up until like I think 38, and that's if you're running accurized full bore. And I mean, you could even, in a range masterwork, I guess not even quite 38. The only way you would be able to go above 38 and close to 39, because I think for every 10 range is you would have to run stats for all, but that's obviously not going to be a contending perk that you want in PvP because you're going to have to hit 3 enemies within a short duration, 3 seconds of each other. But yeah, like I said, this one, you could get, to me, it's like for end game content. If you were going to use this in like a Grandmaster and that sort of thing, you do really want range. But yeah, 38 range isn't too bad. And then you get, because you're adding like per every 10 range, I think it's like 1.3 meters or something like that. So you're talking about, yeah, close to 39. And a good damage boost. And stats for all, one for all, I think it's just such a solid combination on any gun for PvE. But yeah, looking like I said at the perks you want Rampage or you want multi-kill. You don't really want any of these other ones. I don't think Snap is bad if you're really like a run-and gunner. You can definitely use this, but it's like I said, you don't really want to get close range, and it's like you're gonna get outclassed by most other pulses. But with this 390, you're gonna be able to kind of jiggle peek and that sort of thing, and three tap with it, 3 bursts until you get Rampage, and then you're able to 2 tap with it to the head. And yeah, for me, it's like I guess I got Corkscrew. I think Corkscrew is really nice. You could even go with Small Bore. You obviously don't get handling on this, but you get a little bit more stability and range, than from Corkscrew, where you get the additional handling. But yeah, getting accurized, tactical, or flared Makewell would definitely be kind of what you would want on this. Like I said with multi-kill clip, it's like if you can make this work, or you're a hunter main that runs reload, class ability, then this is really good. But a lot of people, in the first column, you could go with Zen Moment, I guess. You don't really need this. I didn't really try this. I got to roll with it. It was really good. But I mean, if you're running multi-kill, you could go with tunnel vision. But I guess, you know, if you wanted an absolute like beam of a roll and wanted it to make it really easy on yourself, you could go heating up rampage, because they obviously work in perfect synchronization with each other. And there is, I mean, I even had one with elemental capacitor that I was running yesterday, and I was running. I tried void with it for stability. I tried arc for the handling, and it is really snappy. But then I also tried stasis just for fun, and I mean it did help a little bit with the recoil. But like I said, it's nothing that is too overbearing to control this recoil. This A lot of people, want to get that sweet, 195 to 100 where it's like a straight line up. But to me, you don't need that. And I mean, on my even on my one that I have elemental on, I have a stability masterwork, and it's like, I think it was pushing way above 70. It was pushing above 70 stability. With elemental, because you're obviously getting like 20 stability from void. And then it's like I'm pretty sure on that one I also had a surplus. It was surplus elemental, and I can't remember what the mag was, I guess, but yeah, no, the stability was really high on it, and I think I can't remember the barrel I guess I had, but I had over 70 stability, and I was still beaming guys, and I didn't really notice the damage fall off from no additional range. Like, the range looks low on this, but it really isn't bad at all because it's a pulse, and these were recently buffed. But I think it honestly might have had chambered compensator on it or something like that, because yeah, this seems about right. Like, it had a lot of stability, making it very smooth and very easy to aim down sights, and the flinch wasn't so bad that I could actually outduel some people with it. But yeah, overall, if you want to get this gun, this weekend is to do it. I'm doing this video today because I wanted to do playtesting on it, and tomorrow you're gonna be able to complete all 4 of your quests for it. Um, you're gonna be able to complete all 4 of your quests on it, and then you're going to be able to, for Iron Banner, and you're going to be able to have a lot of rank up packages, but be sure you have enough legendary shards. It's like 100, per focus. And then, I mean, keep your Iron Banner engrams. For the most part, I did do a lot of ones where I didn't focus them, and I was doing like 10 at a time. I would usually get a Forge's Pledge dropping for me there. But at least 1 out of every 10, type of thing, if you're not trying to focus, or you don't have the materials to focus and that sort of thing. But yeah, overall, this gun, very, very nice, very clean, and just overall, a very good, solar weapon that doesn't, I mean, it doesn't really synergize too much with solar, but I think with, so many classes, it's like you're using, Void, in a lot of classes, it's good to have, in end game content, it's good to have like a solar secondary, type of thing. I know that Arc is kind of the focus this season, but, and to have synergy with that. But solar, I think, has always been strong amongst all of the classes, well for Warlocks, Blade Barrage for Hunters. And then, I mean, even Titan hammers really isn't too bad, throwing hammers around and that sort of thing. But yeah, even with Titans, it's like you're gonna want to have a complementing, primary energy thing for end game content. But that's pretty much it. I was gonna upload some gameplay for it, but I just kind of got into a lot of bad games yesterday. But I mean, trust me when I say that this weapon is really worth it. Like I said, you're looking at this gun. I mean, you probably, for an absolute god roll, you'd probably do small bore. You'd probably do, you know, possibly flared mag well, for some good stability. And then you can run, surplus rampage or heating up rampage with, I mean, skulking wolf, and then you could run a stability, get you that sweet 35 meters, or you could run more stability that I think, is really, would be really nice. But yeah, a lot of people like range. Range I think is nice, but with a gun like this, when you're not going to be outdoing no times, you're not going to be outdueling, you know, you're not going to be out dueling 340s just because there's still two bursts. But this weapon, I mean, you know, it kills. I think I had a lot of people that I was like coming around corners that it's like didn't realize that it would kill just unceremoniously quick, being a 390, a little bit quicker of a burst than a 340 is. But with the recent buff to these, they're really nice. You know, and I think base, you know, you're looking at this, it's like a 29 impact, and then it's like a 33 crit or something like that. So it's like pretty forgiving in terms of like the initial burst as well. You don't even need to land, you know, all crits, you know, to make this a 3 burst. Like it's pretty forgiving off the first kill, which is really nice. But I want to thank you guys for watching, and I stream on Twitch. This is Wrath Nightbane checking out.